Hi everybody, Paul here from pmharrison.com. Today I want to talk to you about the very many different types of editorial services and how you and your business or your creative project can use an editor to your advantage. Now, editing has come on leaps and bounds over the last few months or years. It used to be that there were just the classic style of editing, such as substantive edits and technical edits and copy editing and so forth. But today, with the rise of content marketing and content strategy and SEO and so on, editors like myself are involved in so many different aspects of marketing and of content creation. So in this video, I'm going to lead you through the most important ways in which you can work with an editor to benefit your business, your creative project, or whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. So let's start with the most classical styles of editing. First off, substantive editing. Now, substantive editing is a very in-depth and intensive style of editing. If you've got a novel or a book or a business letter or anything of any piece of writing really that you need to be edited from start to finish, and you need somebody to go through it to check everything from the grammar to the style to the logic of your arguments to the personality of your work, everything. If you want somebody to cover it all, then you're going to need to hire somebody to do substantive editing, such as myself. I'm an editor in Hamilton, Ontario, and substantive editing is one of my personal favorite things to do because this is the style of editing where the editor like myself takes your work and turns it into something truly professional and purposeful and effective for your marketing or for whatever your business goal is. So that is substantive editing. Another of the real classical styles of editing is copy editing. Now, copy editing is a much more watered down version of editing compared to substantive editing. Copy editing is all about making sure that the grammar is correct, making sure that the technical writing aspects are correct, as well as making sure that there are no inconsistencies or nothing is inaccurate, nothing factually is inaccurate, and so on. So copy editing is about checking everything from both the writing itself and from what is in the writing factually and in terms of your arguments. So that is the second form of editing, which is copy editing. Now, another massively popular style of editing is proofreading. I personally am involved with many different styles of proofreading because proofreading covers everything from proofreading a novel or a book to proofreading an instruction guide for a product to proofreading a business letter or business email. You can proofread pretty much everything. In fact, some people even get a proofreader to read through a personal email or letter, which is really important to them. Something that's not even going to be profitable or that's not even going to be used for marketing, but it matters to them on a personal level. So that just shows how variable proofreading is. You can hire a proofreader for practically anything. Another aspect of editing is formatting. Now, formatting is obviously different. With formatting, you've completed your work. You just want to make sure that it's in the right style and the right format for whatever publication you're using it for. So formatting can be particularly important for a book or a novel, for an ebook, for an email newsletter, for a instructional manual for your product, and so on. Anything that needs to be laid out in a specific way, an editor such as myself can hop into Adobe InDesign, which is the most important tool that's used for this, and create or rather edit your formatting to make sure it all looks perfectly so that your writing looks professional and is laid out in a way that's easy to read and that makes people want to read from the beginning to the end. So that is formatting. Another classic, in fact, the final real classic style of editing is the editorial review. Now, the editorial review is an excellent choice for editing if you don't necessarily want the editor to get hands-on, you just want their professional feedback. You want to know how something reads, you want to know if you've made any mistakes, and then you want to go through it yourself. In that instance, you might choose an editorial review because the reviewer, such as myself, will go right through all your work and will write comments either alongside the document or at the end and provide you with valuable feedback that you yourself can use to go through your writing and to edit it on your own. So that's an editorial review. So those are the real classic styles of editing. However, today, what I'm finding as a professional editor is that there are very many new types of editing that editors like myself are getting involved with. Most of them are to do with the internet and with online. For instance, there's the content strategy editor. Now, a content strategy editor is somebody who's going to be involved with the content marketing as a whole. For instance, if your business has a blog and you're using that blog to generate leads to sell your product, let's say, then you're going to want to make sure that every piece of writing that you put on your blog or every guest post that you publish serves a purpose in your overall online marketing plan, in your content marketing strategy. So the editor can be involved with that. They can look at how this blog post is targeting certain keywords and how it's written, who it's going to attract in terms of your buyer personas and so forth. And an editor will be able to suggest or to make edits to improve the way in which that piece of content fits within your overall content marketing strategy. So that's one of the newer forms of editorial services. Another editorial service which is really taking off in leaps and bounds today is SEO editors. Now, this is not technically a form of editing yet. SEO services are usually something separate to an editorial service. SEO specialists look at how your content is performing on Google and other search engines, and they look at the technical aspects in terms of which keywords you're using, how your site is optimized in terms of internal link structure, and these kinds of technical things. However, many editors who specialize online, including myself, are able to edit the writing and edit the SEO at the same time. So if you've got a piece of writing that, let's say you've just written an article that you like, but you don't know whether it's technically right in terms of technical writing, you don't know whether it's stylistically right, and you don't really know whether it's going to perform well online. An editor like myself, specializing in online, will be able to simultaneously correct the technical aspects of your writing, the stylistic aspects of your writing, and the SEO, the search engine optimization aspects, so that your content works as a whole. You've got all those moving parts, all those gears working together to make sure that you get the most out of every piece of content that you publish on the internet. So SEO editing is another of the newer and rising forms of editorial services. There's also editing for various styles of online marketing. Now, as you probably know, being a savvy business owner or creative person, there are very many different kinds of online marketing. There's Facebook ads, there's AdWords, there's advertorial content that you publish on somebody else's website. There's your e-blasts and your email newsletters, and so on and so on. Now, an online specialist editor knows how all these pieces of content should work both technically and from the style of writing. So for instance, if we look at email newsletters, an editor such as myself is able to look at what words might prevent your email from arriving in the inbox because different email providers block content or send it to the spam file based on certain trigger words in your content. So an editor would know that kind of thing. An editor would also know how to lay out and write the content, the email with a flow so that people actually want to read through it from the beginning to end, because of course scannable content is very important online. And an editor would also know how to use that content, that email newsletter or whatever it is, to convert, to generate leads that convert on your website. And those are all the different styles of editorial services that you can use to improve your content and to improve the efficacy of your marketing materials. Woo! So that is it. That's everything you need to know about all the different styles of editing for online marketing and for classical style editing for written content. I'm Paul Harrison from pmharrison.com. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your support. If you would like to hire my services as a professional editor, visit my site pmharrison.com. As I said, I'm a Hamilton-based editor. So if you're in the Hamilton area or Toronto, etc., I'm very happy to meet with you and to chat through how I may be of assistance for your business or your creative project. Thanks for watching.